This just reminds me so much of like different market volatilities we saw around the pandemic, where providers have to weigh the pros and cons of saying like, okay, if we're going to allocate space to this type of hot need, but then how temporary is that hot need? And once we commit to allocating space, how hard does it unravel? There was a lot of brokers and carriers that maybe aren't even around anymore or have downsized a lot because during the pandemic, they outlaid a lot of capital commitments into what was actually like what was temporary volumes. Then when that volume went away in late 21 into 22 and definitely 23, they had leases and they had purchased properties and equipment and things that just were never going to be needed long term, but the investments were made. And so I think that caused, a lot of shrink for a lot of companies, and some of them even maybe went belly up in those investments. So it's really difficult because I know, especially as a salesperson, we want to say yes because it's an opportunity, it's business, but then we have to step back and say like, how viable is this and how sustainable is this going to be after the next month? Or unfortunately in this case, is this even still going to be needed in a week or 2 weeks? So I've never had a Twitter, never had an X. And so I'm like, man, I've never felt more compelled to need to have like an X account to know what's going on with global supply chain than I do at this moment.